Kickstarter, the crowdfunding frontier. These are the continuing Pickstarters from the Rope Crit crew for August 19th, 2019.
Starting off with a weird and potentially controversial one. This is a game coming back from the dead. It's Evil Dead 2, the board game, which was on Kickstarter, you may recall, in the past from a different company, Space Goat. Now it is being brought back by Jasco Games because the original Kickstarter project, while funded, never came to fruition, and many people, in fact all of them, did not receive their Evil Dead 2 board game, and it was pretty much thought that this one was dead and that was the end of it and we weren't going to see an actual product release. Well, now they are coming back, Jasco, they've got the rights to it, and they say they are going to put it out, and not only that, they are going to deliver a copy of the game to all of the original backers of that first Kickstarter if the game is successfully funded. This game, of course, is based on Evil Dead 2, the movie from the 80s, horror, zombies, miniatures, Bruce Campbell. You're playing as different characters from the franchise in the infamous cabin from the movie, trying to kill deadites and survive. It's a cooperative experience. As far as I know, the game itself, I don't know how much they actually changed. The rules and things, I think, are probably the same. We're recording this a little bit in advance of the actual launch, so I don't know all the full details yet, but didn't want to wait another week to talk about it because this is a big one. You know, this is we talked about the original one when it went out,
and we actually interviewed one of the people who helped make it.
Yeah, Taylor Smith is the designer of the game. We have a great a spotlight interview with him on our channel. That if you're interested in the game and the history and why it didn't get made and what went on with that, definitely you should look for that on our channel.
Now, my question is that they said they're going to deliver it to everyone who backed it before. Mm-hmm. So my guess is if I'm one of those people, there's a good chance like I'm not going to back this because I'm just going to get it for free.
Yeah, that I would say is 100% what the chance is, yeah.
My question is, how likely do you think this is going to pass then? Like, how many people didn't back the first one? That wouldn't. I know you said you're in that boat, so I'm not saying it's impossible. But do you think it's enough? Because in essence, not only then are you have to pay for your own game, unless Jasco is planning to take a huge... we should mention, this is a company that has delivered games. They have games.
No, I have full confidence saying, if you want this game, you should back it. Like, unlike with Space Goat, who was the new company, they hadn't really put anything out. I don't think you have to worry about that happening with this. I think Evil Dead 2 is a big enough property that they're going to find more people to get it.
Okay, that was just my kind of, like, I'm not questioning, like, as you said before, it's more of just, is it possible?
And I think that, you know, I think they'll have a good financial plan. I don't think it's going to be exorbitantly expensive. Even the original one with all the minis wasn't super cheap. So I think that they probably are willing to take that hit in exchange for the goodwill. And maybe some of those original backers even will sign on to this.
I mean, I'm sure there will definitely be some, especially they're at a lower tier. I don't remember how many different tiers there were in the other one, because I'm sure there was like a collector's tier that had.
There was a deluxe edition, yeah. So we'll see how it goes, but I'm excited, and I will most likely back this one after having, fortunately for me, passed on the first campaign.
You are one of the few lucky ones.
It's Evil Dead 2, the board game.
The evil keeps on growing. Continuing with our next Kickstarter, Scarlet Knight from Big Fish Games. This game is all about how you are travelers who have decided to stay at the Scarlet Hotel, which is, of course, haunted, and it's up to you to try to escape. This game actually comes with a bunch of different modes, being cooperative, team versus team competitive, or a 1v1 where one person plays the Phantom or Ghost. What I found interesting about this game is it uses an app, similar to many other app games, and you will tell you how to set up the board. Whichever mode you're playing, you'll actually set up furniture or door pieces that actually have little RFC stickers and cards in them. So you'll scan that with your phone to tell you, and it'll tell you whether you find the keys you need to escape the hotel or something else, or the Phantom. There's also a light system that tells you if a room's about to, like the Phantom's about to appear there or not. And if you actually look at the Kickstarter pledge levels, one of them includes an LED light, which I don't think they're exclusive for. I think you could find at Home Depot, probably, if you need to. but you could wirelessly connect to, so the room itself you're playing in could flash if something's about to happen.
Now that's hardcore atmosphere.
I mean, I feel like if you're going to do a horror game, this is the way to go. Make sure you get the atmospheric take. And with the RFC chips, it doesn't become like with a lot of horror games, or not horror, just story things. I think horror relies a lot on its story. And if you sort of know the ending or what's happening, it's a little hard to be shocked and surprised.
Yeah, I like
so
that.
adding the chips to sort of shuffle things up, I think helps. And plus the game modes, with there's 2 teams and see which team can escape first. Cooperative, obviously, you're all the teenagers who try not to die. And then the 1v for someone that actually wants to play the Phantom. It is $72, but I think that's because it comes with all this cool stuff. I think it's worth taking a look at. I mean, we're always a fan. I think seems like a very good use of using the app thing, and I think scanning cards is something I would like to see a lot more. I mean, my first impression, obviously, in my head is Amiibo cards where they have the little chips in them. And I think that just seems to be something that's really underused, that we could see a lot more great potential in board games, whether you have a smartphone or not.
Yeah, if it's done well, then definitely. And I think it does make sense, like you said, with the horror theme. Here's another sequel for you, Burgle Brothers 2, The Casino Capers from Fowers Games. This is a sequel to Burgle Brothers, or Burgle Bros, however you want to say it, which is a heist game, a cooperative game for 1 to 4 players. You lay out different tiles, and you are randomly going through this place, discovering new rooms, trying to find the codes to crack safes and get out before the guards catch you. Now this is the sequel. It's a standalone game. This time everything takes place in a casino, and there are some very interesting changes in this version. They made some changes to how the cards work, how your gear works, but probably the biggest one is that in the original game there were 3 different floors you had to travel between, each one represented by a grid of tiles. In this one there are only 2, but one of the things that I really thought looked cool is if you've ever seen pictures of people's Burgle Bros setups for the original game, sometimes they make these kind of tables or use tables they have so that each level is actually on a different level height-wise, so that it feels like you're really traversing different floors. In this game, the box for Burgle Bros 2 actually opens up and extends and actually becomes a table. So built right in, you have 2 floors, and in this game you only go through 2 floors rather than 3 from the original. But now there's like a special finale that happens that can change depending on the scenario. There also is there's like a campaign element, and it's not legacy, but you do open envelopes, and as you play, each new mission will be different. So some very, very cool stuff in here. Now, I've only had the chance to play the original game in solo mode. We haven't had time, unfortunately, to play it with people, but it's really good in solo too if you like solo games, and the original has tons of buzz. So the only thing I don't know is, like with a lot of these games, is will this replace that original one or complement it?
Well, what I'm curious about is if they actually make it a series. Maybe something similar to the Centuries games, where this is a casino. It plays differently, but it's part of the Burgle Bros line, and that way you could do like some more weird ones then. Obviously, if this isn't, it depends on probably how successful this is. Like this was 2 levels. What if you did one that was like a yacht where you had sort of different levels, like captains? I'm just trying to think of other very common not robbery,
heist locations,
heist locations or movies.
Yeah,
and I think that could be a cool idea,
yeah.
Especially if they add the box transforming into a game piece.
Yeah, there's some really cool stuff here. Definitely highly recommend this one. It goes for $49. Check it out, Burgle Bros 2.
Witchcraft Magic of Hera is a 5e supplement based on the webcomic series. I definitely suggest you check it out. It's very cute and adorable. It's about a young witch learning to master the witchcraft and earn her birthright as a master of spells. This is based in that world and adds a whole new class, but this witch class they add, what I really think is cool, it adds 6 subclasses to it. In essence, it's you specializing in like nature, like necromancy, other like elements and stuff. So it just seems that like one class is like, oh, that's not much, but really splits off into these 6 big ones, which I think is a lot cooler. And like I said, I'm a big fan of this world, so I thought I'd give it a mention. They actually did a board game a while back. You can get a PDF of this for only $11, so not that bad. That seems pretty worth it, especially, I just think that witch class idea sounds really cool to just, very obvious, here are 6 trees you can go into.
Yeah, it looks cute. I didn't know it was based on a thing, but it kind of looked like Kiki's Delivery Service.
Oh, you definitely like it. It has a very cute cat.
Hey, how can you go wrong? Carte Rouge is the new game from the Enigma Emporium, and I've already mentioned a couple of these guys' Kickstarters before on this show. They pump them out somewhat quickly because they're all relatively small and easy to make. This is another puzzle game. It's from the people who made Wish You Were Here, which was a series of puzzle-based postcards that you had to solve. Many like kind of an escape room style. You had to look things up online. Sometimes you have to, do some light math or word puzzles, all kinds of different types of puzzles. This time it is a deck of playing cards. So you actually receive a deck of 52 playing cards, but as you look at them, you will notice that there are strange things going on, and within those cards, there are puzzles to solve. And I do not know much beyond that, in terms of specifics, because of course they want to keep those types of things a little bit hidden so nothing gets spoiled. But you can go there to see an example of what the cards will look like and how exactly it's going to work. And whereas I guess any of the original games you could play with multiple people as well, but they seem kind of like a solo experience. This one they say is for, I think, 1 to 5 players, and they said like between 12 and 20 hours total to solve everything probably on average. So
not for you. You'll get it done in under an hour.
Yeah, I'm still working on the last set. But it could be the kind of thing that, it's a deck of cards you could put in your pocket, you bring it on vacation or at someone's house, you look at a few cards once in a while, you come back to it. I just really like this idea that they're bringing of like a common kind of everyday object that has hidden stuff in it to solve. I think is really neat. So if you like those types of puzzles, you're looking for something like that, it's $25 for that deck of cards, and it's called Carte Rouge.
Maybe we'll finally find who's killing the King of Hearts.
I hope so.
Those were our picks. Evil Dead, definitely a big shock to see return, but there was another return, so to speak. They re-released the Shovel Knight game. We already made this as a pick. They took it down because of some pricing issues, I believe, if I recall. So this is back up. We didn't really make it a pick because we thought if you're interested, you'll probably already look again and backed it. If you thought there are too many issues now, you can look again and see if they fixed them. So you can check that out if they've made the changes you required.
I do remember thinking that game seemed a little pricey for probably what most people, especially people new to board games on Kickstarter, might be willing to pay. So one to take another look at. Another one to look at is Pixel Demon's Realm. We put out a preview and a how to play video for this game on our channel last week, so you can get plenty of information there and see if you are interested in that one to back. Otherwise, let us know in the comments what else you're backing. Something that we did? Are you ready to double dip on Evil Dead? Are you one of the people who backed the original one? We definitely want to find out what your thoughts are on this. Talk to us there. Till next time, I'm Jonathan.
I'm Will.
And this is Roll for Crits Kickstarter Pickstarter.
We want you to like and subscribe, and if you have the chance, take a look at our Patreon.
Thank you for being a friend. Subscribe to our channel and back again. Okay.